Good morning everyone, today we're going to be comparing Leciel exploration with all the other content available in the game because as I ranted in yesterday's video, rare drop rate is definitely an issue. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So after yesterday's rant video, I read through all of the comments and some of you guys had some really constructive criticism and some really great ideas. But at the end of the day, we are talking about Sega over here, and as we all know, they implement things incredibly slow. So in today's video, we're going to be pointing out systems that are already in the game, so it's going to be a lot easier for the developers to just copy paste certain systems into things that we actually like in the future. So the number one thing on why Leciel exploration is generally accepted. I know there are some people that really don't like Leciel exploration. However, I want to say that the general majority of players are okay with it. And one of the main reasons why most people are okay with Leciel exploration is, first of all, barrier to entry. Yes, it does have a battle power requirement of 3,615. However, this is what the developers deemed as the minimum battle power needed in order to actually have a chance to get an S rank on this quest type. And personally, I don't see that as a bad thing. The worst thing that could happen in Leciel exploration would be there's no battle power requirement, you get level 1s coming in, you get level 10s coming in, and you got a bunch of dead weight, and then the average player is like, I'm never going to queue this ever again with randoms because I get really bad quality games. And so the battle power requirement being there is to ensure, or at least quote unquote screen, a bunch of players and make sure that you have a certain amount of gear so that you're not just getting carried throughout this type of content. However, that is not the main reason why people actually like Leciel exploration. The main reason is because of the featured item drops. Now, if you guys remember in yesterday's video, I ranted a lot about okay, we're never going to get any of these featured item drops. However, the nice thing about Leciel exploration is every single run you are guaranteed growth mint. And you also get a good amount of LC capsules, which are essentially the endgame capsules, just watered down a little bit. So because of this, the average player has accessibility and they're able to farm for endgame items as well as useful items that they actually need in order to make their character stronger. So every single run that they're doing, they feel like they're not wasting their time. On top of that, it's also a daily. However, just making it a daily is not good enough. The key thing they did over here, which was actually a very good change, was they added growth mint times 10 as a daily reward. So the reason why people are okay with running Leciel exploration is because the worst case scenario, let's say the modifiers are totally garbage and you're getting a B rank every single run. At the very least, you can just run it once, you get your 10th growth mint, and then you get your 2 to 3 extra growth mint per run. So at the end of the day, you get 13 growth mint for a single run, which is not too bad. And the reason why I say it's not so bad is because of the growth mint exchange. So over here, worst case scenario, if you need your 9-star rarity weapon, after 5 days, you will be able to pick up your 9-star rarity weapon. Now, of course, if you want a Fixa Terminal 1, which is, that's a very nice improvement. It gives you critical damage. That's going to cost you 300. However, at the very least, within 5 days, you obtain the item already. You obtain your weapon, you obtain your basis. So there's a guarantee there. It's like, sure, you might be super unlucky. You might do like 10, 20 runs. You might spend 10 hours farming it and you get super duper unlucky. But to be fair, after 10 hours of farming Leciel exploration, just from the guaranteed growth mint, you're gonna get a lot of them and you're gonna be able to pick up your 9-star rarity weapon regardless. So there's a guarantee to this system, to this gameplay loop, where it's like, all right, the more time I invest into it, the more I'm going to be able to purchase from the growth mint exchange shop. This is the worst case scenario. At the very least, I can see my growth mint counter go up every single run, and eventually I will be able to pick up whatever weapon I want. Now, something I did not notice, and I think maybe I might be the only one here, I might be a little bit silly over here, but the Octo armors are also available in the exchange shop. But not only that, you can get Fixa 1 guards over here. So I feel like an absolute dummy right now, because if you guys remember, I did make a video talking about the Fixa enhancement system where I used 300 growth mint on a katana or a sword, I believe, with a Fixa Terminal 1, and then I gambled to try to get Fixa Terminal 2. That was me wasting 300 growth mint. What I should have done was I should have just exchanged it for my Octo Armor over here with Fix a Guard level 1. The reason for this is because Fix a Guard level 1 gives me 1% damage resistance. It might not sound like a lot, it's like, oh Kero, it's 1%, whatever, no big deal. But the thing is, if I get Fix a Guard over here and I put them onto my armors, then maybe for my trippable capsule, I don't need to go Guard trippable. I could go Spirit trippable to give me a little bit more photon power. I can go Stamina trippable to give me a little bit more HP, and it kind of evens out. Instead of bashing my face trying to get the Arga armors, I can invest that time, that 20 hours that I wasted with nothing to show for. I could have invested that into Leciel exploration and guaranteed 2 pieces of Octo Armor with Fix a Guard 1. So that is the main thing that I want to bring to everyone's attention, or at least Sega's attention, to why people are okay with certain game modes and some people are not okay with the majority of game modes. It's the same thing with PSC farming. The thing about combat zones, I'm okay with combat zones farming, it's fun for me, I enjoy the process. But the thing is, again, there's no guarantee. There's no item that I can farm for in a combat zone which I can exchange later down the line in some exchange shop, such as the Growthman exchange shop over here. Maybe you guys can consider adding a different combat zone exchange shop where you can farm up a bunch of materials and exchange them for Arms Refiners 2. Because the process of farming Arms Refiners 2 is freaking horrible right now. You have to go to Nuisance Plant to farm for Arms Refiners 2, and Nuisance Plant isn't even the new combat zone. You can't even get all of the new capsules such as the Starro Souls as well as the Ale somethings over here. And on top of that, the 9-star rarity weapons also don't drop here. What most people want to farm if they want a combat zone farm is going to be Resil Forge, Vanford Laboratories, as well as Mount Magnus. But the thing is, you can't even get Arms Refiners 2 from these 3 combat zones. So it's like, well, you're forcing players to go to the old combat zones in order to farm for a material that they need in order to get their gear stronger or to limit break their gear, or they go into the limited time quest over here and bash their faces on the blazing battle, which, you know, it's not as bad anymore, but nevertheless, I still have a lot of beef with this because I wasted 20 hours on this limited time quest, and you can see over here, after investing 20 hours into that limited time quest, these are the numbers of Arms Refiners I got. Now keep in mind, I didn't actually get 38, I already had like 25 to begin with because I've been doing my weekly exchange shop type of stuff, so, you know, maybe I got like 10 Arms Refiners in the span of 20 hours, which is not very good, by the way. So basically what I'm asking for over here is add in an exchange shop, add in a new currency that we can farm for, or even an old currency, I don't care. We need some sort of guarantee. You guys already did this with the Gigas Strugments. If we go over here, let's say that you need some Gigas Might 4s, Gigas Precision 4s, or Gigas Technique 4s. You can exchange your Gigas Strugments for these capsules. So farming for Gigantics, farming the Recon Gigantics, you don't feel like you're totally wasting your time if you don't get any of these capsules from the pure RNG drops. At the very least, every time I kill a Gigantics, I can see, oh, I'm getting Giga Strugments. So at the very least, after I kill a couple of them, I'm going to be able to exchange them for these capsules that I actually need. And that's really all I'm asking for. I just want some sort of guarantee, some sort of pity system. So it's like, all right, let's say that you really are the unluckiest person in the world and you've been farming for ages and ages and ages and you don't get anything. Well, at the very least, there is this exchange shop over here, so it's respecting your time to some degree. I'm not saying that this is going to solve all our problems, but this is going to be the first step in the right direction is what I'm trying to say over here. So I really hope that Sega does go back to the drawing board. I know I was pretty harsh in yesterday's video, but I stand by everything I said there. I just want them to improve the system, improve the game, improve the overall experience in NGS so that players aren't sitting there going like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do my dailies because that's the only thing that's worth it, and maybe my weeklies. You know, I want people to play the game more, and I'm sure Sega wants that as well, but at its current state, only Leciel Exploration is delivering. Leciel Exploration, the more time you invest in it, the more you get rewarded, and it's super clear cut with the Growthman Exchange Shop, it's super clear cut with the LC capsules. It's such a good game mode that when you compare it with the latest releases of the limited time quest, you're kind of like, Sega, what's going on? You did a banger update there that was amazing. Then you come out with all of these things which are like regression. These are all downgrades. Why don't you just implement successful systems into the future content? So since it works, you know, if it works, don't fix it. So just copy that system. You know, you've got the Growthman system, you've got the Gigastrugman system, you've even got the Aegis Integra system. You know, you've shown that you know what the community has complained about and you have the ability to fix these things. It just baffles me that I need to rant about these things, right? To me, it's just like, that's kind of common sense, guys. It works. This works. Please just duplicate it again and you're good, right? Why do you need to change things and remove some features that we liked from before? You know, honestly, guys, I wasn't planning for this video to be another ranty type of video. I wanted it to be a little bit more objective, but you know, I just got carried away again and just kind of derailed. But I still stand with what I say, you know. End of the day, what I want is a pity system of some sort. I just want the game to respect my time, you know. I want to play this game. I'm willing to put in the effort. I'm willing to grind for the items. I'm not saying that, oh, I need to be spoon-fed and you need to give me everything because I'm a content creator. I'm going to complain if I don't get X, Y, and Z. I am willing to grind things out, but there needs to be light at the end of the tunnel. I remember vividly when the Kavaris update came out, I grinded like crazy for the rugged weapon series because I was like, oh my gosh, I got super lucky in the Retem region. I did get a Fixa 4 Fatale relic weapon back in the Retem days. So I was like, okay, if I put my mind to it and if I just grind nonstop for like 2 weeks, I'm bound to get something, right? And I remember after a month of grinding, and I asked all the other content creators, I think there was one person that actually got it, that actually got a rugged weapon, and it was a rugged sword, I believe. And we were like, oh my god, that's crazy. But the thing is, collectively, we've put in like thousands of hours farming for that, and only one person got it. And, you know, I was hoping that, hey, Sega, you know, wake up, guys. You should probably learn from that experience. This is not okay. You know, if you add in a new weapon series and you showcase it in your NGS headline and it's like the main attraction and everyone's like, oh my gosh, that's the cool thing that we want, you kind of need to make it a little bit more accessible. Like, I would be totally okay if they made a slightly weaker version, like with the LC capsules, but with the weapons, where it's like, hey, you can get the weapon as a slightly weaker variant of it. However, it's not tradable, for example. And then have the super rare items where it's like, you know, the Tisha weapon, for example, right now, and make that the super crazy rare item where if you do get it, it's like, oh my gosh, you're like the only person on the server that has it. Like, you know, I'm not fully against the idea of, oh, we can't have super ultra rare items. Sure, if you want to put super ultra rare items, so be it. But you need to cater to the general public. You really need some sort of protection, some sort of guarantee where it's like, all right, you know, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. If I farm for 100 hours, I'm guaranteed to get X, Y, and Z. As long as there's that, I will put in the 100 hours. I will farm for it and get that item and showcase it and make a video about it and probably make a video telling you guys, was it worth it or not? And, you know, for 90% of the people, it's probably not going to be worth it. But nevertheless, at least there's a guarantee there, right? So that's pretty much all I wanted to cover in today's video, guys. I know I ranted quite a bit again. Usually I do want to avoid just like negative videos all the time, back to back to back. But it's just something that I'm very passionate about. You know, I like this game a lot. I invest a lot of my time into this game. My YouTube channel is based off this game. So when things go south, I do get a little bit salty. I do get a little bit passionate, a little bit emotional about these things. But yeah, I just care about this game. I want this game to be good. Sega has proven in the past that they can do amazing things. They just need to do more amazing things and take less L's. Because right now, if we look at the track record of NGS, there's a lot of L's and not a lot of W's. So I hope Sega's listening, and I really hope that you guys take this into consideration. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.